What do you think? Adrian!
Hey, I got another one. Oh, this is totally cool. Okay.
Not Cagney. You dirty rat.
Like this because oh no, that's not it. Nothing more to it. No. No.
Got another one. Oh, this is totally cool. Okay.
Not Cagney. You dirty rat.
It was a joke.
Just go to the moon. Yeah, there'll be a day when AI takes over and it'll make us their pet.
What's your problem?
Has happened in the past.
I hear you. I don't want to be right about them killing babies after they're born.
I know you don't want to be right.
I don't want to be right about human.
You don't have to be. You don't. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you want to be right about it.
Glad to see you again. An idea of what magic white is. The big thing is, do not confuse it with gesso. There is a terrific difference between the two. Gently come across. And it's very easy to destroy this. So all you want to do is put a little bit on the knife. And the one thing to remember here, if you're making still water, it's always flat, always level. So every little line that you put in it must be basically flat. You can go anywhere you want to go with it, but you have to keep them straight. Okay?
We can explore space together, both inner and outer, forever.
Maybe I'll fight Apollo, and maybe I won't, you know? What do you think? Adrian!
No, we're doing it for an advertisement. Ah, that's it. Forget about the Russians. We're doing an advert for Tiger Brand coffee. Tiger Brand coffee is a real treat. Even tigers prefer coffee to real meat. Now look. Now look. Hi. Oh, isn't it a lovely day today? Answer the question. No. No, we're doing it for an advertisement.
The sun is not so far away. The moon isn't what they say. Everything that glitters is not gold. They sell a dream and steal your soul. They see the victim as she cries, and all the poet The sun is not so far away. The moon is not what they say. The sun is not so far away. And the moon isn't what they say. 600 miles using stars. Our only compass was our arm. The lies and love too much to bear. Tell the story, make it fair. The sun is not so far away. The moon is not what they say. The sun is not so far away. And the moon is not what they say. The thinker thinks is on his own. The sound adjusting to the tone. Dreams of revolution's dome. The clouds they hide the mystic's home. The sun is not so far away. Everything isn't what they say. The sun is not so far away. The moon is not what they say. Everything that glitters is not gold. They sell a dream and steal your soul. They see the victim as she cries, and all the poets wonder why. The sun is not so far away. Is not what they say. The sun is not so far away. And the moon isn't what they say.
You know the globe destroys the mind, lies divide the brain. Time to run, time to pass. Break out blue to the golden pass. Break out blue to the golden pass. Break out blue to the golden pass. Yeah. We chased your rockets here. Fell for hoaxes there. But we're standing tall, sword of pride. Break out blue to the golden pass. Break out blue to the golden pass. Yeah. Come on, yeah. It's shaded. We get lost. We get lost. We get lost. We get lost. Oh. We found an island on your ball. Can't control our minds. Crimes and changes kept us down. Break out blue to the golden pass. Break out blue to the golden pass. Break out blue. Oh, oh yeah. Mason City, week to week, day to day, hour to hour, the strength is great, deep and wide. Wake on blue to the golden pass. Wake on blue to the golden pass. Wake on blue, wake on blue, wake on blue, wake on blue. Yeah, 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 yeah.
A Foucault pendulum started in a state with zero velocity. It would keep swinging back and forth along the same line. If at its highest point, it has a tiny velocity in a direction perpendicular to the direction to the lowest point on the pendulum, then maybe it would have such a tiny deviation from moving exactly back and forth that a human can't see that tiny deviation with their own eyes. But that deviation would result in a slow precession of the pendulum, and a day is so long that the direction it's swinging in would rotate a significant amount. If you have a system where a particle's acceleration is always equal to its displacement from a certain point multiplied by a negative constant, and it's not moving back and forth in a straight line, it will travel in an ellipse which does not recess at all. I think the same is not true about a Foucault pendulum. Its acceleration doesn't vary linearly with its distance along the sphere of where it can go to the bottom, and the sphere of where it can go doesn't have Euclidean geometry. My question is, can we really conclude from looking at a Foucault pendulum and the laws of physics that Earth is rotating? Maybe if its initial velocity is controlled to be very close to zero, we can tell from its precession that Earth is rotating. Also maybe if its arc is very small, the rate of precession for any deviation from going back and forth that's undetectably small to the human eye will be so much slower than the rotation of Earth that we can tell from watching it that Earth is rotating. That still might not prove Earth is rotating, because if the pendulum has a tiny charge in the presence of a weak magnetic field, the magnetic field could also cause a slow precession. With all this, one can confidently conclude that the Earth is not rotating. Thank you.
Put the animals on the ark. Start the world over fresh and regrowing all the grass with the drippings from the ceiling. We don't need to say fish, 'cause they're all already swimming. No beds animals on the ark. Start the world over fresh and regrowing all the grass with the drippings from the ceiling. We don't need to save fish, 'cause they're all already swimming. Nobody's in the way. Nobody's in the way. Yeah. Nobody's in the way. Nobody's in the way. Yeah. Nobody's in the way. Nobody's in the way. Yeah. Nobody's in the way. Nobody's in the way. Yeah.
Good morning, boys and girls. Professor Ray here, doing another installation of his show. The Earth is spinning with Professor Ray. Yay! The Earth is spinning. Never stop spinning. Ha ha! Today's lesson is proving to you guys that space is real. Okay? Those flat earthers, they keep lying. I'm telling you, don't listen to them. Just listen to man. We always tell the truth. Now I've compiled a compilation of videos to show you guys that the moon landing was real, and that spacewalks are real, and that all the photos of the globe are real. Bullcrap! Bullcrap!
Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
What I'm gonna play for you guys is a funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
Since there are millions of people starting to question the shape of the Earth and how it moves, it's important that we go over all of the things that would have to be possible or seen throughout history for them to be right. For example, if they were right and the Earth had this firmament above it, like they say it does, there would be some sort of treaty preventing us from going far enough to explore and determine if they are correct. And the world leaders would make sure that they kept this treaty in place throughout every war, every conflict, and they would do so peacefully. They would then go on to spend countless billions of dollars on showing us proofs that the Earth is a globe, and they would do so deceitfully and find ways to make these images become part of our pop culture. They would also create a design of creation that has the words of these false god names that the Bible tells us not to mention. And there would be centuries upon centuries of artifacts that reveal who they all worship and pay tribute to.
There would also be prophecies of this upcoming deception, a warning of how our thoughts would err concerning what's above us. The Bible itself would even tell us that Earth is fixed and immovable, that it's stationary, that it has foundations. And if they were correct, everyday people would go out and do experiments that prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that water doesn't curve. And they would repeat these observations time and time again. And if they were correct, the space agencies would have to make fake pictures of Earth because they wouldn't be able to go high enough to take an actual photo of what we live on. Their own animators would have to admit that the Earth was photoshopped because it has to be.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
It is Photoshop, but it's has to be.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat. It looks kind of flat.
There's artistry to creating the
She could tell right away that I was flat to the bone, flat to the bone, flat to the bone, flat, flat to the bone. I broke 1,000 globes after I caught you. I'll break 1,000 more, NASA, before I am through. I want to tell you about it, baby, yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, buddy, that I'm flat to the bone, flat to the bone, flat, flat. Flat to the bone. I make a rich Mason beg. I make a bad Mason heal. I make an old Mason hush. I make young Mason kneel.
Tell you something about the Earth. It's flat, right? Surrounded with a dam of ice. It don't take much to analyse, and it's pretty black and white. There's no such thing as satellites. NASA lied. Shaq was right. People actually believe that the Earth is a globe. Well, you might agree with that, but I certain just flat, mate, with a semicircular dome. Or if you look from space and you can see the curvature. No! There's Mercury! Oh yeah, I see the other planets, mate. Just illusions NASA made to make you think it hangs in space. We've never been to see it, have we? And the moon landing's fake. We only learn half moon and total eclipse. You think it's all just some big conspiracy theory? Well, you're just Pavlov's dog when it hears a bell. You can attack us from all angles, you can jeer and yell, but we have nothing to fear but sphere itself. So I don't need a globe or a tourist map to see it's not round, oval shaped or zigzag. It doesn't revolve around the sun, it's not an orb, it's flat.
Let me introduce to you the one and only Nuevo Laredo. Crowd goes nuts.
If you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball, you just don't. That stuff is flat.
Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. The finest day that I ever had was when I learned my mind was hijacked. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. I'm on a plane. I found my brain. I'm on a plane. My mother tried day and night. It's safe to say she raised me alright. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. The brainless shoot. We're brainwashed again. They try to take all of our guns. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. I'm on a plane. I found my brain. I'm on a plane.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once,
In a dream, my
shame on
memory stored.
Shame on you.
Thinking fast, I know there's no space.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Now's the time to make it all clear. To write all lines that all make sense. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. One more special message to go. NASA's done. They should go home. Know myself better than you. I know you're wrong. Now I know the truth. I'm on a plane. I found my brain. 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 They want me be nice, I feel bad that they never do. We start the fuss and fight. Then they say we are wrong and that we could not be right. When they get down the people, right there, take the time, say they make so much news. They're so evil, I even love it, they not that time, and then they do it twice. Resistance, say you're so hot, resistance. Say you better this wise, say resistance. Say you better advertise, say resistance. Say you bring back this time, resistance. Say you're so hot,
He'll flat out thank you.
Much the same. Let it go, didn't even try. And here to stay, it's all been done and tried. Nothing more to say, just fade away. I see you on the flip side. And you won't be back again.
Team, it's
I know, kind of different. Sorry to waste your time, gentlemen. I don't work for the government.
National Security Agency.
The other end of my phone. Huh?
No, that's the FBI.
See, you just overthrow governments, set up friendly dictators.
No, that's the CIA.
Let's go.
Change your mind. Call us at this number.
works at a think tank called the Coolidge Institute. Specializes in large number theory, prime numbers, factoring.
You lied to us all these years.
World order. Box is on his desk between the pencil jar and the lamp.
Okay, boss. This LTX-71 concealable mic is part of the same system that NASA used when they faked the Apollo moon landings. Yeah, the astronauts broadcast around the world from a soundstage at Norton Air Force Base in San Bernardino, California. So work for them. Shouldn't give us too many problems. Thanks.
But today, they just don't know where the money has gone. But not everybody's going begging. Record earnings this week, due mostly to large, anonymous donations.
That's why I know we haven't been to the moon.
We're launching the Discovery of Flat Earth project.
Well, that Rocket Man dude's already shooting himself into space.
The
he's got the world is flat on his forehead. Look, he's got the world is flat on his forehead.
The world was flat, the world was flat.
He's got the world is flat on his forehead.
And now we see there is a lot of stuff. And it's getting pretty dirty down there.
Howdy, partner. Mountain shaking, you dirty yellow belly rider. I'll do it to you through the door. Don't give it to you too. Get away from that door.
Cool. Okay. Not Cagney. You dirty rat.
Plastic from one of the FDF books.
For yourself. Who, why, where, how? Who, why, where?
Who? What? Where? When? Why? How?
The world is a lie. Nothing is real. The world is a lie. There is nothing I can feel. Mama didn't tell me that the world is unreal. Imaginary story, lies and unreal. The truth, the lies and the truth and fairy tale lies don't have a Prince of Wales. I never get told what is real and true. That's why I put truth out of the blue. Never really did. No one really cares what our heart it hurts. This world is a lie. Nothing is real. This world is a lie. There is nothing I can feel. This world is a lie. Nothing is real. This world is a lie. There is nothing I can feel. Nothing in that world will really exist. We merely burst reality and twist. With their vision and prevail might have told us that the world is a sport. So many things, the earth is the earth. When the lies get told in this world, no one really please, no one really cares when our heart get hurt. This world is a lie. There is nothing I can feel. Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Today celebrities announce Flat Earth reality. Thanks for joining me again. Welcome. Shaq attacks Earth's roundness. Basketball player Shaquille O'Neal was roundly mocked online when he announced on his podcast in March that Earth is flat to me. He went on, "I do not go up and down at a 360-degree angle, and all that stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? You mean to tell me that China is under us? China is under us? It's not. The world is flat." Rapper B.O.B. crowdfunds a satellite. The rapper B.O.B., also known as Bobby Ray Simmons Jr., is famous for having gotten into a Twitter fight with physicist Neil deGrasse Tyson over whether the Earth is round. B.O.B. raised his profile further this year with an attempt to crowdfund his own rocket launch to carry a camera into space to look for the curvature of the Earth. Flat Earthers, of course, don't believe in the Earth's curvature, which, for the record, becomes visible to the human eye at about 35,000 feet, 11,000 meters, elevation, but only given at least a 60-degree field of view, according to a 2008 paper, making it hard to detect from a typical passenger airliner window. 2 months after the fundraiser was posted, B.O.B. had reached $6,883 of his $1 million goal. the first 1,000 of which he donated himself, according to his GoFundMe page. Concluding that the Earth is flat, Kyrie Irving gets on board. What is it with NBA players? Kyrie Irving of the Celtics has had a complex relationship with the flat Earth in 2017. As SB Nation breaks it down, the point guard declared the Earth flat on a podcast in February, and then returned to the same podcast in March to say he was just trying to start a conversation. In September, he was asked by CBS Boston what he really believed and said his original statements were just an exploration tactic and that people should do their own research. In October, he again floated the notion that the question of whether Earth is round is up for debate, saying he didn't know whether pictures of Earth from space were real. Solar eclipse fuels conspiracy theories. Eclipses are moments when it becomes really possible to look up and remember that you live on a spinning ball. Well, unless you're a flat earther. Then, they're proof, dumb, that the Earth is flat. Flat earthers use the August 21st total solar eclipse that crossed the contiguous United States as evidence of their beliefs. According to Forbes, they argued that the west-to-east eclipse path was evidence of something fishy, because the sun moves across the sky from east to west, right? Actually, the moon orbits Earth from west to east, so the moon's shadow follows the path of the moon. Flat earthers also argued, using flashlights and coins, that the moon's shadow should have been bigger than the moon itself. The problem with this argument is that the sun is an extremely distant, diffuse source of light, not a nearby point source, so the flashlight analogy doesn't fit. Instead, the moon is like a tiny speck against the backdrop of the sun's massive light. Homemade rocket launch fizzles. In November, flat earther Mad Mike Hughes announced plans to launch himself 1,800 feet, 550 meters, above the Mojave Desert in a steam-powered rocket he made out of salvaged parts. His plan was to attempt to photograph the lack of curvature of the horizon to prove the Earth's flatness. The curvature of the horizon is subtle enough as to not be visible until at least 35,000 feet, so it's unclear exactly what Hughes hoped to prove. Nevertheless, his homemade rocket cost a reported $20,000, making it quite a deal compared with BOB's estimated $1 million rocket launch scheme. Unfortunately for Hughes, his launch was to take place on public land, and the Bureau of Land Management shut him down at the last minute. Flat earthers hold a conference. The internet has undoubtedly expanded flat earth believers' reach. The Economist recently reported that, based on Google Trends data, interest in flat earth as a search term has risen significantly over the past 2 years. Flat earthers are now meeting in person, too. The first ever Flat Earth International Conference was held this year in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was hosted by Cryptos Media and the Creation Cosmology Institute, both of which use religious overtones in their flat earth philosophizing. The organizer of the conference told Live Science that about 500 people attended. Earth is flat, Mars is round. As founder of SpaceX, Elon Musk knows a little something about the challenges of launching rockets off an oblong sphere into space. So when he tweeted in November, "Why is there no flat Mars society?" he probably didn't expect an actual answer. Well, he didn't really get one, either. But he did get a response, straight from the Flat Earth Society itself, at flatearth.org. "Hi Elon, thanks for the question. Unlike the Earth, Mars has been observed to be round. We hope you have a fantastic day." Why does the Flat Earth Society believe in direct observations of Mars' roundness but not Earth's? Who knows? But flat earthers tend to have complicated, often contradictory, explanations of how astronomy works in the absence of a round Earth. The Flat Earth Society pushes a view in which the sun rotates over the top of the disk of the Earth like a baby's mobile at a much closer distance than the 93 million miles, 150 million kilometers, away that it actually is. The other planets, which, in this theory, are also much smaller and closer than they are in reality, orbit the sun, the Flat Earth Society believes. Another athlete asks questions. Whatever is in the water at the NBA is apparently affecting the cricket world, too. Former English cricketer Freddie Flintoff recently hit the tabloid circuit with his opinion that the Earth is flat, or possibly turnip-shaped. Okay, sure. Flintoff discussed his belief on his BBC Radio 5 podcast in November, asking why the water in the ocean doesn't wobble if Earth is hurtling through space. It's because Earth's rotational speed is basically constant, forgiving an imperceptible slowdown of about 2 milliseconds per century. The oceans move with this constant spin just as a passenger in a car traveling down the highway moves at the same speed as a car. Rotation does cause Earth to bulge at the equator, though, which is why the planet is an oblong shape rather than a perfect sphere. Flintoff said he got his ideas from listening to a Flat Earth podcast.
Even Mars rover and space Wi-Fi, right? So for you, heaven's not above. It could be anywhere, right? You're not a flat earther, are you?
No.
Why do you reject the first page of Genesis? I saw you had a flat earther, Mark Sargent. He destroyed the guy in the debate. I don't think you guys were listening. Is there no flat earthers here? You guys are Christians and you don't believe the earth is flat? You believe in the moon landing? It's been debunked 1,000,000 times.
Let me tell you this. I neither believe it or don't believe it. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I'll take that. But,
Yeah,
you know, the greatest mind on the internet, Nick Fuentes, who beats everyone in the debate, banned from every platform. You guys are on his cozy, millions of dollars. He believes in the firmament. If the greatest mind on the internet is a geocentrist, how is it a funny position? Like, dude, you're ascribing infinity to matter and space-time. The universe is infinite. Where's the corner? You're looking, every picture of space is fake. There's never been a picture of a curved Earth. It's a fisheye camera warping lens, or it's like with the Google Earth, like that Photoshop shit. Dude, 120,000 feet in altitude. It's a motionless plane. Like Einstein said, the Earth is an observable, motionless plane. Horizon comes from the word horizontal, and the 4 wings of the Earth is in the Bible. All Abrahamic faiths and all religions were geocentric flat Earth.
So have you always believed that Earth is flat?
No, it was the 2016 when the Trump administration leaked through the dark web that all the flat Earth stuff.